Okay, Tony, the talking matter. You probably can't see, you may not be able to see in this light, but Tony is actually an arsehole. He's also ginger. In fact, he says often when he comes on stage, the audience thinks he's Irish. Until he tries to tell a joke, obviously. They're like, no, he's not Irish, he's not. They're notoriously funny, you see, the Irish, and Tony's not.
Oh, okay, okay. Chris Grooves, everybody, make him some noise, please. Chris Grooves, yes. Yes, this is the unofficial face of British tourism in Barcelona. I'm actually really nervous because he's a big deal. I mean, yeah, he is. He has his own shows, his own comedian school, recently even won an award for the shittiest Big Lebowski cosplay. But I'm really happy to see Chris with us today because, you know, it's not usual to see him in such mainstream events, you know, because he's more underground, you know, underground, fighting with hobbits and dwarves, and anyone else who's trying to trespass his cave.
I knew I'd met your family somewhere. Tony is actually half Russian, half Ukrainian, and completely fucked. Turns out, of course, that Putin was not the first Russian to enter Ukraine. Refused to pull out. And despite all the warnings from the world that the result would be disgusting and terrible, refused to abort.
It's good. You're lucky that our president doesn't hear you. So,
which one? The comedian, obviously.
Okay. Damn. I didn't want this rival. Okay, this is too much. Okay.
That's what Putin said.
He has no rival, so yes. Chris has a poor eyesight, as you can see, and he can't. This is actually a defensive mechanism that his body have that prevents Chris from seeing himself. You know, he has a quite unique appearance. You know, yeah, I mean, yes, he does. He looks like an extra from Men in Black movies, you know. You know, the one who stays in the background, pretending to be a comedian, and like with the head that desperately trying to abandon its own body and to come back to its original owner, Margaret Thatcher.
I haven't seen the Ukrainian version of Men in Black, but I'm assuming you nailed it.
Yes, I did.
Tony's an only child. There is a God, and
yes.
It seems that even as a baby, you just got the feeling that Tony should not be near children. That's a paedophile joke, by the way.
Okay, it's nice. You won't believe it, but Chris is actually 52 years old. It's surprising because he looks way older. He's so old that after each one of his performances, people clean the dust from the microphone. He actually made a show dedicated to his progressive dementia, and call it Find Your Funny. in which Chris is desperately trying to find his bag of marijuana.
Find Your Funny is actually a comedy course I teach if anyone's interested, and Tony's never done it.
I never will.
Tony the Talker Maddie. The Talker Maddie is not his real name. Tony has a stage name. No stage presence, but a stage name. Now, the Talker Maddie is actually, he's named himself after someone who was sort of known inside the Spanish Inquisition, which is kind of appropriate because when Tony talks to the audience, it's fucking torture. And no one knows who the fuck he is, so... No one expects him.
I'm gonna steal the joke, okay? Oh, shit. Okay. Chris gives me an impression of a person that goes to kindergarten to pick his children up, but after he stays a little bit longer, so he can see all the children. I mean, yeah, Chris actually looks like a rapey Santa Claus. Who was about to deliver the gifts for the children, but he got stuck inside, how you say it? Child's asshole, yes.
You tell something in confidence. But before he started doing comedy, Tony he was into boxing. Okay, it reminded me of this an interview with Louis C.K. where he said there's lots of comparisons between boxing and stand-up comedy. For example, Tony's shit at both. For example.
I did. That's why I'm here. So, the last joke will be like, I'm just going to say nice thing about him because I actually respect Chris a lot because he does a very diverse comedy, both in English and Spanish, which means half of his shows are in English and the other half sucks. I know it for a fact because I perform in each one of the shows, so yeah.
I also do it in Catalan, so 2/3 of my shows suck.